So I'm having to record this video on my break, so forgive the lack of any background, and if the audio quality is a bit scuffed, that's okay too. But we have to talk about the recent announcement when it comes to Wrestlemania 42, scheduled to take place in New Orleans, potentially one of the greatest locations I can imagine for WrestleMania. Apart from the actual match card itself, WrestleMania 30 banged so hard. The aesthetics of it, the fact that it was in New Orleans, all of that just sent it way over the top, especially for being a 30th anniversary Mania. Now, of course, it's not really the 30th anniversary, it's not how anniversaries work, but it was just announced from the New Orleans sports, I'll put it on the screen, just announced that WrestleMania 42 is changing location. It will now be in New Orleans at a future date, which kind of leaves right now, it's up in the air as to where WrestleMania 42 is going to take place in 2026. And this is going to suck for a lot of people for a variety of reasons. For one, if you booked a plane ticket and you went with the basic economy plane ticket, there is a non-zero chance that you won't be able to get that refunded, and that is going to suck for a lot of people. I also, and this is just me being a little bit biased, I do think you're losing a lot of that aura, but if they pick the next city correctly, I think you could have still a very good ambiance for this upcoming WrestleMania. Now, as it stands right now in this moment, there's a lot of rumors going around. There's some people supposedly from inside WWE itself who are saying that it is looking as though it might be moving to London for WrestleMania 42, which I know a lot of people across the pond are going to be extremely happy about. This is something that people have been asking for repeatedly. And can we please get a WrestleMania that takes place somewhere other than America, that takes place preferably in London? I've seen that a lot. As a lot of people know, a lot of the big wrestling content creators and wrestling reporters and just wrestling fans in general do come from London. They come from the UK. This is gonna be a huge pop for them. Now, will it be something that a lot of people who have already made those plans and were looking forward to WrestleMania 42 potentially as their first WrestleMania here in the States, would this maybe suck for them? Sure. But I do think you have to look at it from that perspective of, if it truly is in London, as these rumors are pointing to, that's going to give an entirely new audience a nice, just a welcoming party, a very amazing experience for all of them to be able to experience WrestleMania in person. So I do think that has to be thrown into consideration. Now, of course, as it stands, there is no official confirmation as to where WrestleMania 42 is going to take place now. We'll probably be hearing more on that very soon. I can't imagine they're going to leave this up in the air for that long. At the time of this recording, at least, there is no official information as to where WrestleMania 42 is going to take place. I, for one, am maybe only slightly bummed, and that's because, again, I love New Orleans so much. I had all these plans set for New Orleans. It was my birthday weekend. I was very much looking forward to that experience, that atmosphere being what carries WrestleMania 42. I definitely saw a lot of potential for it, but it's one of those things you just gotta roll with the punches a bit. Let's talk for a second about where we would not want WrestleMania 42 to take place. I think it's pretty fair to say, especially from sentiment online, not wanting WrestleMania 42 to be in Riyadh. A lot of people are kind of soured on the way that TKO almost tends to favor Saudi Arabia whenever it comes to these events and give them these match cards and these events that ultimately end up disappointing a wide variety of fans, but is something that just gives that specific audience a bit of nostalgia. I also think there is the other issue that has to be taken into consideration as well, which is the history of human rights violations that have been perpetrated by Saudi Arabia up until this day, especially with the use of slave labor whenever it comes to building their arenas and their coliseums or stadiums, etc. I think that also has a lot of WWE fans very soured on that relationship that TKO has. But ultimately, it's still up in the air. I do think that is one location that a lot of people do not want it to be. Another rumored location is Indianapolis. As a lot of people know, if you're paying attention to those sort of insider things, Indianapolis did in fact sign a major deal with TKO to host some major WWE PLEs, including Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. These have all been confirmed to be something that Indianapolis has struck a deal with TKO to host those events in Indianapolis. We just kind of have to wait and see exactly where that's going to go. Maybe the AAA thing could kind of push them to doing a WrestleMania in Mexico. I myself would be extremely fucking hyped for that. Right now, as it stands in this current situation, we have no idea exactly where it's going to be, but we do know it is no longer New Orleans. Rumors are pointing towards London, and a lot of people are saying maybe Indianapolis due to that deal that they struck with TKO. And it kind of seems like nobody wants it to be in Riyadh or just Saudi Arabia in general. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I think no matter how this is cut, I do think that as long as it is in one of those other major cities, I think that shit would bang. I think it would be fire. I don't necessarily want to have to fly all the way overseas just to go attend my second WrestleMania, but you know, if I gotta do it, I gotta do it. It's just one of those things. I want to be able to give myself that birthday gift every year moving forward. With WrestleMania 41 being my first, I would like to collect those attendance tickets as Infinity Stones at this point and just continue to see WrestleMania in person moving forward. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Where should WrestleMania 42 take place? What would make the most sense? What would have the most insane atmosphere or aura? What to you would be the perfect WrestleMania 42 location? We do have coming up very soon, I will have a video posted up about my experience at WrestleMania 41. I've been really lacking on that. I'll probably throw in a little bonus about attending not the Raw after Mania, but the following Raw. And yeah, we've got a lot of shit in the pipeline that we got to talk about, but go ahead and stay tuned for that. If you like some more wrestling content that is definitely reported on daily, and maybe you don't like the major accounts, head over to X or Twitter, follow WrestleFreshX. It's at WrestleFreshX. I want to do more stuff where it comes to, like, you know, predictions for each Raw, SmackDown, the PLEs especially. I want to get more sort of input onto what your dream bookings would be for these events. So go ahead and follow that, which is also on YouTube, WrestleFreshYT. But until next time, I got to go back inside. My break is done. I just wanted to shoot this one out there and, you know, just kind of gauge people's opinion on what's happening with WrestleMania 42. So until next time, you won't see me.